What's going on, sandboxers? It seems like I was able to get in one last video before I get my wisdom teeth out, so let's just get right into it. Antopilo starts off this blog post with terrain updates. Terrain now supports up to 64 materials, up from 4, which is pretty crazy. And they've adopted the terrain tool to the same sidebar that they're using for the mapping tools. And you can see right here, it in action, which looks really cool. Which is another thing I want to mention, that we have mapping tools now. Layla mentions that mesh editing is now moved to its own mapping tool, as it has all of the tools and modes needed to create and edit mesh geometry. You can also see the tool properties that are displayed on the side panel next to the toolbar. Also, this one I'm super excited about because I know I like to take a lot of pictures within Sandbox and do cool stuff for thumbnails, but we have high resolution screenshots. So there's now an option to capture high resolution screenshots via console command. The command uses the perspective and settings of the active camera and works both in the editor and also in-game, which is really awesome because that means a lot of people are able to take quality screenshots directly inside of the game. Tony also provides us with some new components specifically for Dresser, which is now able to randomize any of your citizens' clothing, which is really helpful for a lot of people that want to create citizens and don't really want to go through the whole process of every single time you have to add clothing options. So thank you, Tony. This is a huge time saver. No Collide has been added to the sandbox mode and also as a component in the editor, which is very cool to see. It seems like most of the updates that go into the sandbox mode will also be going into the editor, which is really awesome because it's just kind of doubling for features. And honestly, I think this is awesome. Max provides us with an update for working Visemes. I hope I'm saying that right, to help with bringing them on par with citizens. Now, these are really helpful if you want to use them for lip syncing humans or using them for your voice chatting in the game, or even if you're working on an animation that requires to use the human's mouth. And lastly, Alex fixes the tone mapping, which was pretty bad before. Now, with some closing thoughts, this blog post is fairly light as we're getting closer to Christmas, and more than likely any sort of big updates are probably going to be going out over Christmas to closer to New Year's, as there probably won't be any sort of crazy updates until 2026. I do want to mention this is also the same thing that's going on with Valve at the moment with Valve Time. And I know it's unrelated to Sandbox, but I'm just saying that a lot of stuff is probably going to be happening within the next couple of days. And I'm hoping that after my anesthesia wears off and everything, that I can properly watch the Game Awards and be able to react to anything else that will be happening. Fingers crossed for anything Half-Life related during this time. I think it'll be really awesome. But either way, this week's blog post was very light, and it makes the most sense because, people are probably going to start going on holiday at Face Punch, things like that. And I'm super excited to see what's going to come up next for Sandbox. But that's all we have for this video. If you want to check out the latest video that I did, feel free to check out that video right here on screen. And I will see you guys when I recover next time. Thank you so much for watching.